A man pulls a syringe from a thermos flask and secretly slips it into an athlete's shoe, making it more convenient to inject performance-enhancing drugs. They don't just inject the drugs into their legs, they also shoot them into their arms and stomachs. At this point, the entire team has secretly taken performance-enhancing drugs, helping Lance secure 7 championships. Unfortunately, when this race ends, they unexpectedly face blood testing from the organizers. The coach quickly lies, claiming everyone is showering. Lance frantically grabs the prepared diluting agent and rapidly injects himself. If the test values exceed 50, he'll be found guilty of illegal drug use. Therefore, Lance must inject saline solution before the test to lower his levels. Finally, just as the patience of the waiting inspectors outside is wearing thin, his blood concentration drops to 49.9. By this margin of just 0.1, Lance successfully deceives everyone and once again ascends to the champion's throne. Lance's inspiring journey from cancer patient to world champion makes countless newcomers want to join his team and become excellent cyclists. What no one expects is that the champion's halo is propped up by drugs, but one journalist senses something is wrong with Lance. While people believe that Lance, as a former cancer patient, would never use banned substances that harm the body, journalist David thinks that the more successful someone is, the harder they are on themselves. Sure enough, his conversation with the first informant confirms his suspicion. This was a competitor who raced alongside Lance. He and Lance were similar in age and physical ability, but in the race, Lance finished a full 28 minutes ahead of him. This is absolutely not something someone who just recovered from cancer could achieve. David quickly turns these doubts into a report. Unfortunately, the report is quickly drowned out by the cheers of Lance winning yet another championship. David's investigation hits a dead end, until one day, Lance's drug doctor is arrested. Police find large quantities of performance-enhancing drugs at his home, shocking the sports world. David realizes the opportunity to restart his investigation has arrived, but his boss doesn't agree with David's request. So David produces photos of the doctor and points out that police found a logbook of Lance's drug use at the doctor's home. Even with this compelling evidence, David still can't extract more proof from Lance himself. His boss and colleagues all advise him to give up. There's no need to waste so much time on something that yields no results. But David refuses. He's determined to see this through with Lance to the end. As a sports enthusiast, he wants to see genuine, passionate competition, not a bunch of chemists putting on a show. Finally, under David's persistent reporting, Lance has no choice but to hold a press conference, attempting to clarify that he hasn't used performance-enhancing drugs, and makes a stunning decision: retirement. This means David can no longer continue his investigation. But what David doesn't expect is that Lance comes back after retiring for just half a year. It turns out he can't bear a life without applause and medals. To live that life again, he's willing to pay any price. But today's competitions are different from before. He can no longer beat the younger athletes. This time, David can finally bring Lance down because he receives a tip from one of Lance's former teammates. The teammate provides not only testimony, but also photographic evidence. This report is devastating. Lance's scandal shocks the sports world, and he's banned for life. The moment he hears this news, Lance breaks down. Competition was his only reason for living. Lance calmly looks at the pond below and jumps without hesitation. Perhaps when he lost the only victory he pursued, death became his final victory, even though he no longer knows who he's trying to beat. This compelling film is called The Program.